You have traveled on a geological research vessel named the Taconite, um, and we're going to this uh, kind of somewhat forgotten region of space in support of a archaeological mission that was there. There were four ships kind of going on this mission. There was your ship, the Alexis, which was the archaeological research ship. There was a ship called the Wasabi, which was a cargo ship, which was really mostly empty. The idea being that they would load up with cargo, right? Whatever they found of interest, they would load up on the Wasabi. And then there was the Defiance, which was a ship that was filled with mostly with Marines, just in case they needed some kind of muscle um, there. I mean, this was a strange area of space that um, had going way back, a history of ships that would kind of go there and not really come back, and uh, not really good information kind of coming from what exactly happened to those vessels, and it was largely just forgotten because people had plenty of other things to do in other regions of space that were more kind of safe, and people kind of knew this was okay to kind of travel over here, so why would we even need to really bother with or think about, right, this other region? But you all went there, and you have um, kind of found yourself near a planet. There is a moon orbiting the planet, and there's really a veritable kind of graveyard of ships kind of floating around, and the ships seem to be pretty much derelict and dead. But you did pick up when you came out of your hyperspace. Uh, you did pick up on a signal coming from the Alexis, and you have now docked, and you have put yourself. You've been part of this little party that has boarded the Alexis, and it's the three of you plus a um, an assistant engineer. I don't know that we gave him a name, but I we'll go on and call him Slavin, is the name of this. Uh, uh, it's not the chief engineer of the Taconite, but is this part of that kind of small engineer detail on the Taconite that has joined there. You've done a little exploring um, on the Alexis. You found that the cryo chamber is the cryo chamber room, which had about 30 chambers in there, that they were activated 18 days ago and nobody was in there. Um, and you've also um, you made your way up to the command room because the engineer was interested in checking out the drives of this ship. All right, that's another big thing, is that your jump drive is malfunctioning uh, in a kind of strange way, because you know there doesn't seem like it's sustained any damage or anything like that, but there's something that is affecting the jump drive. And so the engineer was kind of interested in getting back to the drive area of the Alexis, but it was the airlocks aren't uh, operating, but you were able to kind of determine that if you could make it, to the command room, that might be a place where you could get these airlocks opening, and you went to the command room on the upper deck. There were there are two androids up there, uh, or maybe it's one and a half androids, because like one of them is missing its lower half. They seem that they are not really behaving normally. They clearly have some type of severe memory loss that is affecting them, and you now have basically tied them up because you kind of realize that. I mean, in addition, there are these two dead bodies in the room that seem to have been involved in some type of violent struggle. And Vince, at the end of our last session, was examining the bodies, and you had a critical success on that examination, so you were able to kind of um, parse out like the cause of death, that one of them had been bludgeoned and the other one had been shot. Had we determined that it was a suicide um, shot?
I think, let's see.
Self-inflicted?
What I have written down is blunt force trauma for one, and then self-inflicted laser cutter.
Yeah. Yeah. So a self-inflicted and a self-inflicted lethal shot, right, has caused the death of the other one. But then, I had been at pains to figure out with that critical success something else. But yeah, so as Vince is examining the bodies, he wasn't necessarily looking for this detail, or examining it for other you know residue that would be on the bodies, but he's definitely seeing on both of the bodies that there is like some dirt and mud that is kind of on the clothing and on the skin um, of those bodies.
Vince will point that out to the others. You gotta stay and take them, clean themselves up before they kill themselves. Look at that. And he'll point out the dirt and sort of like pick it up. We don't have any scientists, so Vince will just sort of pick it up and kind of stupidly rub it in his hands, and like sniff it. It's like I don't know where to get the where you haul it. Oh, we've tied the robots up, right? Or we've disabled them.
Yeah, we tied them up.
This not, this is just me asking a question. Without, I know that we don't have the scientists, but would we know, kind of just from being, on spaceships and traveling on spaceships, would it be normal to have kind of mud on a spaceship? Or would it be a sign of like they've been off the ship onto like a planet? I guess is my one question.
Yeah, I mean,
would it be hard to make a? It would. I mean, my guy isn't very bright, so.
Yeah, I think it would strike you as unusual, at least on this ship, right? That you were part of these four ships, engaged in this, enterprise, and I mean, your ship was certainly scrubbed up and tidy when it left. I mean that right. I mean that.
So the time should be similar. We would think that the time would be similar, so it would be odd. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That makes sense. Sorry about that introduction. I mean, and so I'll say, Leon will say like when Vince points out the mud, Leon will say like, I've been spacing for years, and like it doesn't make sense for things to be that muddy here. I don't know what's going on, but that's weird. And then I'll maybe turn to the androids again and say like, what's have you guys been, or had the crew been off the ship? Had they gone anywhere?
Yeah. So
not super helpful.
Yeah, you ask them and remind us of their names. So this is Pander and Cranot. Cranot is the one who has been chopped in half. Cranot actually seems to be, at least in terms of his thinking faculties, has, even though his body is in bad shape, his thinking faculties seem to be a little bit better. And but Cranot says, I don't remember much about the crew. We're trying to we've been trying to access the memory banks to kind of get a better sense of what has transpired. Those two have obviously been involved in some kind of violent encounter. I don't remember anything about really the past couple weeks are not registering for me.
I think George is going to go over to the computer that. Which one of them was typing? Well, I guess they were both on computers, right?
Well, Cranot was since he doesn't have his lower half, he's been kind of largely just down on the floor. But yeah, Pander is the one who was kind of there, kind of trying to kind of type and trying to recover some files from the computer.
Yeah, I think okay, George is gonna go over to the computer and try to pick up what that other android was doing, and maybe try to, I don't know, like succeed at actually looking at the memory banks or whatever.
Okay, and you have a computer skill, right?
I do, yes.
All right, well, go on and let's roll that skill and see how that.
All right, I have a 57% chance of success, and I fail with a 92.
Sorry.
So what you're able to assess is that the files are in bad shape, right? I mean that they're fragmented, and there's been a lot that has been lost, and you feel like, okay, given enough time, you probably would be able to put some stuff together, but that would probably take. Your guess is it would take days to do it, right? I mean,
and this is like a super cursory look that he's giving the. Okay, yeah. Okay, and I think George is like, I can't.
It looks bad though. I mean, you kind of know that there's like some severe kind of problem with the computer memory.
Yeah, I think George says something like, it looks like being in this room is useless to us. Where are we going? And he's like, oh, and then he looks over at the legless android, and he says, and which one of you is carrying that one? Or should we have Pander? I'm like, can't remember names of, like, when I read books, I like don't know a person's name until I've read the book for 300 pages. Was it Cranot that had the no legs?
Yeah, Cranot has no.
Oh, I knew it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cranot has no legs?
Yeah.
Cranot has no legs. So, I think, George is like, which one of you wants to carry Cranot? I don't think we can just leave it here.
Big Pander carrying. Oh, Todd, I got this laser cutter, man.
Yeah, okay. I think George's like, all right, I guess we can untie Pander, and I'll keep a close eye on him.
I'm not going to carry Legolas over there.
Yeah, so George goes over and unties Pander, and doesn't really threaten him or anything. He just says, hold Cranot and follow us.
Okay. Which of you have, like, as part of your uniform, have some type of communication device on your?
I have short range comms, but I don't think it can do ship to ship.
Mhm.
I also have short range comms.
Yeah, I don't think.
Same. I have short
I
range.
think you need like a long range. There's like a long range one that
Long range,
specifically says
yeah.
it's for
But well, I'm also wondering though, because like the Alexis is um if they're still docked with you.
Oh yeah, so
true.
short range is communication ship to ship within a reasonable distance,
Okay.
as well as surface to surface within 12 kilometers.
Oh, yeah.
And then
So
long range is ship to surface, so orbit to surface.
Okay, and
okay.
all
So
of
in
you,
that case,
all of you have the
sorry,
short
go ahead.
range.
Yeah.
Okay. So Leon, you get a communication coming through your comm.
Mhm.
It's from Hannah Tutula, the ship's captain on the Taconite. She says, and she doesn't remember your name, right?
Yeah.
But she says, Marine, you've been over there for hours, and the situation over here is deteriorating. You know, you need to kind of make quick work of what you're doing over here and get back over here before the situation gets worse. She says specifically that her first officer um, is well, she says not quite to the point of mutiny, but he's being out of order.
Do we all
We're
hear this? Oh, sorry.
no no.
I was just wondering if we all heard it.
That was and Leon, you'd pick up that was like it was like a private link coming through your communication.
Right. So I'll say, Roger that, Captain. We'll try to push through here. Things over here are really confusing, and we're trying to put the pieces together. But I hear you. We may not have. It sounds like we might not have time to get all the answers we wanted. And then I will. So I'll say that to her, and then I'll turn to the group and say, I just got a message from the captain. She's letting us know that we need to hurry up and get whatever information we can and get back over there. Also, Robbie, has it been hours from our point of view?
No, I was wanting to make sure it has not been nowhere near hours. Yeah.
And then he's gonna realize after the fact, after kind of stopping talking with the captain, and then he's like, wait, she said that we'd been gone for hours.
Captain's going space happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of worried about what's going on back there. Let's see if Slavin. Have you been able to figure out how to open up those airlocks?
Yeah. I mean, Slavin, points over to a console where he says, "Yeah, you can control basically all the airlocks from this console."
So let's see if we can take a look at, get you into the jump drive and get whatever information we can and get back over there.
Is this like something that George would have to fuck with because he has computers, or is that just something that anyone could be like,
Yeah,
press a couple buttons?
yeah. This is pretty straightforward. And as I say, it it'll give you, providing the electronics are working. It would open up the airlocks to the drive area or any other drive, right? I mean, you see a whole kind of array come up like with the different airlocks, so you can control all of those from this place.
I think that, George is probably like, let's just open all the doors that so we don't have to come back here so we can get out of here quickly. Especially if there's a trouble aboard the ship. Just kind of looking to the other ship for approval.
Is there any way to turn or put all the doors on manual, standby kind of thing? We do that all the time with it over there.
That kind of makes sense, right? Like, it would be kind of crazy to have to like call the captain every time to.
Yeah, I'll read what it says. It says all airlocks controlled remotely by the command room. Opening them manually requires. Now you open one of them just by your strength, so you could do that. But seems like you need to be from what you've been able to determine. The most straightforward, easiest would be with this.
Can George go up to it and try to like hack into it? And like, is this a thing that he can interface with beyond just like, is this an iPhone or like Linux? If that makes sense. Like, can he actually interface with this and fuck with it and change it, or is it like completely?
I mean, what you would want to be changing it in what way so that
we could just so that that's a good question. So that we could just open it. Well, no, that doesn't make sense that I would be able to do. So never mind. Because I was thinking so we could open it manually, but there's probably just no way to even do that. So.
While they're messing over with that, Robert, can Vince go to the astrogation panel and pull the jump data?
You can do that. You have an astrogation skill?
Yes. Yep.
So if you wanna roll on that.
Oh, got a 27. Yeah, I got 27.
So a success?
Yes, that's a success.
I guess what you would be able to determine is that whatever problem with the jump drive they're having does seem to be very similar to the one that you are having. And you would also, from that data, you would pick up on some notes that from the engineer of the Alexis, to the effect that her assessment is that it would be very dangerous to try to use the jump drive. I mean, if the jump drive can even, be brought online, she is thinking that this region of space, she didn't have the full details, but she's been, kind of analyzing this region of space, that there seems to be something pulling from the planet that is affecting the jump drives, and given the anomaly that is here, that she says maybe the best bet would be to try to power away with uh, standard propulsion and get as far away from that planet as you can before activating the jump drive.
Oh, sorry, I just have to step away for just 1 minute. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Vince will pull those notes. It's like, okay, we got some notes here. And he like kind of shoves them at Slavin. It's like, here, you speak this language.
Yeah, so, I mean, Slavin kind of would look at some of that, and he looks kind of puzzled when he looks at it, but he also says, yeah, I mean, it does seem like, they were picking up, this engineer is clearly picking up, like, you know something that was kind of warping, seems to be kind of warping uh space to make those hyperdrives perhaps a little bit dicey to use. He clearly doesn't fully understand it, though. So are you? Do you want to open up all the airlocks on the ship, or and whatever airlock you want to open up, you can from this place?
Yeah, I mean, Lena will say like, I agree with that plan, George. We gotta get moving.
All right, yeah. Then George goes and does that, and then starts, leading Pander, who hopefully is just holding Cranot. And I think that George has somehow affixed Cranot to Pander, maybe tied him to his stomach, so that it would be hard for Pander to kind of mess with us. Like he can just throw Cranot down, and then, he's like, I think George is pretty convinced that Pander is like not going to do anything, but I think he's having to follow some sort of protocol with it. So yeah.
Okay.
Vince has a bad feeling about this. And he lets everybody know that, of course. A bad feeling.
I think George says, how long, he kind of looks to Slavin. He says, how much more do we have to stay on this ship? I mean, it's the people are dead. The ship has the same problems as ours. Why don't we just go back right now?
Well, I mean, Slavin says, well, we should at least I should at least examine the status of their jump drives. I mean, the more data we can collect about what's happening. I mean, we're not going to get out of this just using, our normal thrusters. I mean, unless, well, maybe you can survive, because I don't know how long your life expectancy is, but at least, uh, us humans, I mean, we can't live for thousands of years to get us there.
All right, George's like, all right, okay. And and he'll say, all right, lead us then.
Okay. So is everybody going to go down to the drive room? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you opened all of the airlocks, or
Yes.
are you? Yes.
Yeah, I'm nervous because you've asked that a few times, so it seems like there might be a bad thing.
Well, I just want. Okay, so you're gonna go. I'm just kind of so. If you're gonna go there, I mean, you go out of the airlock from the command room. You go down the You're gonna go down to the, basically, in front of the airlock um, that you entered the ship in. Uh, that airlock is closed, but I would say it's easily opened. Okay, we're gonna say
Okay.
that the taconite is still docked there, and
Hmm.
but that one is closed. Um,
So we're passing that one right now.
yeah, yeah. When you drop, when you go down to the level where the drive is, right? That would initially put you right in front of that airlock.
Okay, so George, as we're passing that, George is looking to Leon, right? That's
Yeah.
that's the okay. George is looking to Leon, and he's like, "Do we all need to go and look at this jump drive? Should one of us head in to the ship just to see what's going on?" He's like, "What do you think?
Let,
What do you think, Leon? If they said it's just been hours and we've only been here for about 15 minutes, do you think all of us are needed down at the jump drive?"
there's so much weird stuff going on. Let's. I mean, I think we should all hustle back there and finish up. If I think it's better for us to stick together with all this weird stuff going on. I think it's better for us to stick together. Who
Okay.
knows what'll happen if they're losing track of time over there. Who knows what could happen? I think we're better sticking together right now.
Okay.
Okay.
And he's not just saying that because he's afraid of not being on the ship without you.
All right. Yeah. George says, "Okay, okay, Leon. I think what was going on in the ship though?" And now he's stopped
Oh,
actually.
right, yeah. Because I mean, I hadn't. Well,
And he's
they
like,
were just.
is the security of the ship in danger?"
It. I mean, it sounds like it could be moving in that direction.
Okay. He's now George is a little kind of looking at you, and he's like, so you're telling me the security of the ship is threatened? Like, how is what's going on over there?
Well, the captain was saying that the first officer was giving her some flack, but
Okay, is there some kind of like understand human like euphemism, like like understand a human euphemism for mutiny role that I need to make, or would it be reasonable to think that George just would understand that? Leon might be talking about mutiny because I don't know how. He is trained in linguistics, so could I make a linguistics roll here just so that I don't have to make the choice as a player?
Um, yeah,
Because
is
I
that
actually do think it's an interesting little like being like, is this?
yeah, you have linguistics?
I do have linguistics, yes.
Let me I'm just kind of curious as to what it says about how it defines linguistics.
Yeah, me too. Let me
Um,
check it out.
on my way to page 5.
Study of language, 3 word skill.
nice.
Okay, I think that yeah,
I buy it.
You know what? Maybe George isn't like that stupid. He probably understands what's going on. Yeah, I think George says if there's the possibility of danger over on that ship, I need to be on it right now. And he kind of gets his gun up, and he starts going right for the airlock. And when he gets into like this combat mode, he gets a little lower powered, so his eyes normally they kind of move around like human eyes do for aesthetic purposes, but now they're just locked straight forward, and it's kind of freaky. And his mouth also becomes expressionless, and he heads off. And he says, "You can come with me if you want, but if there's the chance of violence over there, I need to be there."
Okay, and I think Slavin is really going to start trying to head down to the drives because I mean he says Slavin was this I've got to make at least a whatever quick check I can over there to see if I can get some useful data.
Yeah, and so I'll go with Slavin, who's my buddy, anyways, from engineering, and I'll mutter something about just leave it to an android to ditch us.
What,
And we'll see
George.
what Vince does.
George, what are you doing?
I think George says as he's walking, something that I have no choice but to do. The security of the ship is being threatened. I need to be on the ship.
All right, don't shoot anybody till I get back. All right.
He's like, yeah, and then he's gonna go and punch the codes in the airlock or whatever.
Okay. So you'll do that, and the door will open.
Okay.
Let's go with the and um unless somebody says otherwise, I think that Pander is gonna just stand there confused.
Oh, right, Pander. Yeah, George doesn't care about Pander anymore.
Yeah, and I'm not. I don't have the bandwidth to try to deal with malfunctioning Android. Like I want to get this mission over. I want to the jump drive is something Leon can wrap his head around. Get to the jump drive, get the information, and kind of get back.
And I just realized that maybe George going into this weird mode where like a lot of his body doesn't do the aesthetic things it normally does is him popping a stim pack. So he's used a stim pack.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So let me just
okay,
just
and let me, for the amount of time.
let me look up stim packs.
Is it, John? Was it a 1d10 for hours?
2d10 to health for 1d10 hours. Yeah, that's
Yes.
Okay,
And
I'm gonna roll up the hours, and I'll make a note of that.
Okay, and I'll just roll my health and stuff. So I get 10 health. That's cool. And oh wow, strength and combat by 2d10 each, but I roll 5 total. So okay. All right. Okay.
All right, so the group heading down to where the drives are located. I mean, you're going to pass by the cryo chamber again. You also that there are 2 airlocks you're going to be passing that are going into the cargo hold.
Yeah.
And so you glance, and you could, just as you're walking by, kind of glance in there, and you will see kind of the kind of archaeology equipment that is in there. I want to see if
So, Robbie, real quick, Vince is bringing Pander along.
Okay.
He'll pull him by the sleeve and drag him.
And
Come on.
Pander will be compliant. Actually, maybe even thankful that somebody's giving him a sense of direction. I don't know, like with this. Let me just get. Let me get you to both roll an intellect.
Okay. It's rough. I failed, but it wasn't a critical failure. So
Same. I rolled a 73 out of 40. Or 73 for 40.
86. My
So you
24,
both failed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you pass down that hallway, and you get to the drive room. And when you get there, you see, and I need to make a quick roll here to see if anything else is appearing. Okay, so you get in there and you see um, two corpses. I mean, they're two crew members who are kind of slumped off in the corner, and you also see. Let me make sure I understand what this is. Do you know what a trilobite is? It's like a very uh, ancient marine
Yeah.
arthropod.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you also see on the floor a kind of ossified trilobite. I think they're about this big.
Oh my god.
Um, but they're extinct, right? It's some type of
Yeah.
old extinct
Yeah.
uh, uh, thing. You see that on the floor as well.
This is like was a geology mission, right? Originally or something like that. So would it make I don't really know even what geology is, so would it make sense that there's a or is that just really weird that that's there?
I think it would be weird.
Yeah.
And they're
Okay.
marine, right? I mean, it's a kind of
Right.
marine animal.
Okay. Hmm.
And Slavin kind of makes his way over to the jump drive and says, "This this doesn't look good." I mean, um, Slavin is able to immediately pick up that that there actually does seem to be in this case, unlike your ship, that the jump drive does seem to be kind of physically damaged and burned up.
Hmm.
Um,
What happened to it?
I I he says I'm not quite sure. I mean it looks I mean he says clearly there's damage done here. He can't really imagine that it's the kind of damage that it's not any kind of damage that he has like studied in terms of like, okay, these are kind of like things that can happen to jump drives and how they would burn out or something like that. But he does say, yeah, this thing is, I don't know exactly what caused this, but it looks
Can
fried.
I'll Leon will take a look and see if anything looks like it's the result of like sabotage or damage or having weapons used against it or explosives or something like that.
Yeah, if you want to roll, this would be fun. Your new explosive. Uh, you're the one that had the explosives.
Yeah, I got the explosives. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I failed, but it was a nice try. 80 over 80, and I needed a 39. So
Yeah. So I guess what I would say is, possibly, but you don't.
yeah,
You don't have real expertise in terms of jump drives or anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So yeah, the Slavin does say that um, the engines, the engines for the regular thrusters, though, those look perfectly fine, and they also seem to have um, uh, some fuel here. let's
Is
go ahead.
the fuel in a transportable? Like, is that something we could be helpful for our
Yeah,
ship?
you could offload it.
Okay.
It would take a little while. I mean, it's not like picking up a gasoline can and carrying
Yeah.
it, but you could offload it if you needed it.
Okay, well, it's good to know.
All right, so let's go back and see what's happening with George.
Yes, George.
So George, you open up the door, and I need to bring up my schematic of the this other ship here. Yeah, so you're if you kind of scroll up, you'll see the schematic of the taconite. So you would kind of come on board your ship at letter A, which is the airlock. Uh, you don't see, where would you like to go? You don't see anybody immediately in this airlock area.
Yeah, George is going towards wherever like the captain is, and I do want to say I think it makes sense to me that like the top of his head would open, and one of these, these security cameras that kind of like half a black ball like on the top of department store, like one of those comes out of the top of his head so you can see 360 around him, because people don't like this, so it's not there all the time. It's very disconcerting, but so his head is kind of open like this. But yeah, he's walking towards there. He's got his gun out, but it's not like he's like pointing it everywhere and stuff like crazy. It's just he's got it out, and he has a flashlight too in case it's dark. I don't know. He didn't say it's dark, but he does have a flashlight.
Okay, so you would imagine, I would guess, that the most likely place for the captain would be the bridge.
Yeah,
Which is very close to where the airlock is. Basically, you go out into a hallway, and it's the next room is the bridge. You get onto the bridge, and you see the captain there, and you see what do we call? Was it VHEX? Was the VHEXO the Android navigator?
yes.
Is there? And the captain notices you, and says to the navigator, prepare to disengage from the Alexis on my mark. But she takes you aside and says to you, George, there is a problem with our first officer and a couple of the crew members who are currently down in the drive section of our ship. I need to have those three crew members neutralized.
They love saying neutral. Yeah. Okay. George first tells her that, oh, by the way, I just came back and the other people are on the ship. And then he says, by neutralize, do you want me to kill them or should I just imprison them? And he says, if they have weapons, I'm going to have to just kill them.
I believe that the first officer is hoping to activate the jump drives, even though it may be very unsafe. And
George is like, I don't need the how, just I don't need the why, just how. Do you want me to?
So the captain says, you need to neutralize them in whatever way you need to.
All right, George starts running towards there.
Okay.
And he's also doing his short range comms to Leon,
Okay.
And he's like, "Hey, Leon, you really got to get back here to do some, some maybe the first Marine work in your whole life. There's some people to kill, maybe."
And is it coming over, like, is the timing of it
Oh, true, the timing.
messed
Oh
up?
no.
Yeah. So let's go back to what you're doing first, because yeah, it is going to be a little delayed. So what do you all do? So you have this trilobite, you have these two crew members in there. Assessment that the this jump drive actually doesn't seem like it would work, but that you've got some fuel and you've got operational thrusters.
Yeah, I mean, so I'll turn to Vince and Slavin and say, you know, I don't. I'll point at the trilobite. I was like, I don't know what that thing is, but it shouldn't be here. And if this if turn to Slavin is like it, and if you're saying that uh you can't, you're not getting any more, we're not getting any more help from this jump drive. Um, we better get out of here quickly. I don't know what's going on, but it, we better catch up with George. What do you say, Vince?
Yeah, I mean, if they're no good here, do we want to take a picture of this thing? And Vince will put his bioscanner. Like, maybe we should get a picture of this thing. He literally probably just points it at the thing, and it's like, I don't know if it's doing the right thing or not. It's working.
Yeah, and that would be easily accomplished, right? You could take a good picture of it. Okay. Is there anything else you want to do before leaving?
So what is so
I'll
you
say,
said it was okay.
yeah.
No.
Oh, sorry. I think Lena would also say, and Vince, you want to see if those guys were, point to the two corpses, like if they bought it the same way those other two did.
What am I, the forensic guy now? I'm not getting paid forensic pay, but Vince will go over to it. Go over to it.
Okay.
They're going to pay me extra shares for this forensic work. I'm telling you.
Okay. You want to roll your first aid?
Yeah. And that is intellect, right? Thank you. Oh. What it is about the first aid rolls, I rolled 06. And my so trained is plus 10, so intellect would be 50 for an 06.
Okay. Yeah, so they do seem to have been in a scuffle. Um, one of them, you move the body and you see that underneath the body they had a collapsible shovel that they were carrying, and there's a wound on the other body that looks like, some gashes on the skull area that looks like that might be, if that shovel was used as a as a weapon, that would have done it. Um, and the other one, um, the one that had the shuffle, has been shot, and you can notice on the other body that, right, that there's a pistol that was, with that other body. So they also seem to have been, involved in some type of scuffle. Let me, given what you have seen, let me get you both to make a save. And let's do this. Get my saves. This I think would be another. I think fear maybe is the best. Um, I was trying to think fear or sanity, but let's do fear.
Everyone 18.
And we're still near those androids though, so we're at disadvantage.
God, yeah.
Yes.
Oh shit, yeah.
Okay. That's terrible because I would have succeeded maybe if I was at advantage. No, so I failed.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But I got an 18 and a 28, so I did succeed.
No, nice.
Okay.
Okay, so I lose. I start to lose it again.
But you didn't critically fail though.
No.
Okay. So yeah. So roll a d4.
Oh, D4.
Yeah.
My D. Okay. Okay, 4.
So you lose. You take on four stress.
Oh. Okay. That's
Yeah,
rough.
I guess it's kind of the accumulation of the results of what they found out about the jump drive. You got the strange
Yeah.
trilobite thing. You've got
Mm.
two more crew members who have not
And
only died but seem to have
and
been fighting.
yeah, and it's kind of like Leon isn't right. So like these things are sort of trickling in, and it's one after the other, and he's finally like, look, like I don't know how that thing got here. I don't know that we can get out of here. We need to go back to our ship because we're not finding any answers here. This is not making sense, man. And I'm gonna start to. I'll grab the all this time. I'll grab the android and start yanking him back towards the androids and start yanking them back towards the airlock to our ship.
Okay.
Actually, Vince is going to reach down and pick up that pistol and like pocket that just in case.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, and I'm not like super familiar with the different weapons, but let's say it is the slug gun
Ooh.
revolver. They have a lot of cool little weapons here, but yeah, we'll make it the slug gun that you have. Okay, so let me think. So y'all are gonna go back to your ship. Um, you gotta think about like how this works out in terms of timing. Um, yeah. The so George, are you gonna wait for the others to appear, or are you gonna go on and make your way down to?
If there is no communication from them, George is completely just going there alone. Yeah.
Okay, so you make your way down uh to the other.
Oh, sorry, Robbie, but yeah, the whole time he is kind of spamming Leon, like, "Hey, Leon, I might have to fight more than one person here, and it would be more optimal if you would come. Hope you get this. Hope you get this." He sounds pretty calm because it didn't sound like they had any weapons. But yeah,
Mhm.
sorry to
Uh,
interrupt you, but yeah.
okay, yeah, no, and so you're gonna work your way down to the engine room. Um, the engine room door is, I mean, the airlock to the engine room right now is closed.
Okay.
So what would you like to do?
George yells really, really loud. Because he has like a built-in megaphone thing, and it's really scary and distorted. And he yells, open this door now. He also has a foam gun, so he's like considering using that to like neutralize them, but he definitely has the rifle up because he's like probably actually nervous, and he's trying to see, can you see through the airlocks, or are they just flat walls of metal?
Yeah, they're pretty much flat walls of metal.
Okay, he's yelling really loud for them to open it, and he's looking like, is there anything that he can is there any way he can open it that doesn't, like how could he open it basically, I guess I should ask. Oh, he calms to the captain. He says, open this airlock down here. I'm at the jump drive.
So the captain says that they've captain says hold on, but just a couple seconds later says they've done something to that airlock. They've we should be able to open it here, but it's not responding. No doubt. Arvind, the first officer, has done that.
Okay. George is gonna kind of pound on the door and yell really loud. And then he's, when they inevitably don't do anything, he's gonna try to force it open physically if he can.
Okay. If you want to give that a strength.
Yes. Okay, so I have a +5 to my strength because of my stim pack, but it's only 35. He's not that strong, which is kind of a bummer. Please. He got a 44. Okay, so he can't. Yeah. Okay. You got a 44.
And that's a critical failure, right?
Yes, that is a critical failure. This fucking hand falls off or something now. Yeah. What happens?
But what I mean. Do you have an idea of what a critical failure would?
I mean, I don't know. I guess the worst thing that I could picture happening that's not just silly is he opens it a bit, but then it closes on his arm or something like that.
Actually, why don't we do this? He opens it a bit, and somebody's going to try to shoot him.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's good.
Yeah. So, I'm going to just make this a. I have all these. I didn't quite kind of outfit all of the. This will make it like a basic.
You didn't give all the characters stats?
Well, I didn't give them all the gear right that they could possibly have.
Yeah.
Let me just go to the.
Yeah, there's a revolver that seems like it would be a more, maybe, I don't know. Let's see. Kinetic slugs, that means.
Yeah, let's just do the revolver.
Oh my god, there's a lot of damage. All right. Oh shit. George.
It's also like I'm looking, oh, yeah, they wouldn't use a tranquilizer thing. So, and I think with this, I think I'm going to have them do it a little bit at disadvantage. I mean, because you're largely kind of covered. Let's just say you get a little bit open, somebody is going to try to take a quick shot at you, and they're going to do it at disadvantage. So this is cool. We're going to get into our little combat here.
Yeah.
This is on page 9.
And so, Robbie, does this mean that the door gets stuck in that slightly open position and it can't move? Because I feel like the failure should also reflect that I really can't get the door open too. So is the door stuck like this open or something? Does that make sense?
Well, I think what it is you get it a little bit open. They shoot it and then manage to close it again.
Okay, right. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, that makes sense.
Um, and so this is an opposed check. Um, and they're going to make a combat check against your armor save.
Okay, which is only a 35.
And they won't. They're going to roll at disadvantage, but they won't have any penalties. And just also.
So they have to beat my. So do they have to roll under a third? No, I have to roll my. I
No,
shouldn't even ask.
they have to roll their combat.
Okay, and then I make my art. Yeah, I shouldn't. Yeah, okay, I understand.
All right. They rolled miserably for their combat. So basically all that happens is like they get a shot off.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's largely what they were trying to do. I mean, they would have been glad to hit you, but they were mainly interested in getting that door, like just kind of getting you to back off the door a little bit, so they could, right, shut it up again.
Okay, George shrieks and jumps back, and then calms the captain. Can you shut off the oxygen in the drive room?
I think they would be able to do that.
Yeah, George is like, I can threaten them with that and tell them that it's off, and then they'll have to come out, and I can shoot them.
Do you? And the captain says, "Do you want me to shut it off?"
Yes, right now.
Okay, it'll take me just a second because
And George starts.
she has to do some overrides and stuff like that.
Yeah, right, because it's really bad to do that. George starts screaming into the room with his really loud voice. The oxygen is off now, and you're going to all suffocate in there. You can come out, but first you would have to toss out all of your weapons, or else you'll just all suffocate. And he's like, I don't want to kill you, but you can't use this warp drive. Now, this isn't a horrific, distorted, really loud megaphone voice thing, but, he does mean it. He doesn't want to kill them.
You hear the voice of the first officer, and the first officer says, I have access to the jump drive, and if you insist on doing this, I'm gonna flip the switch, and we're gonna jump drive out of here.
Oh, shit. Okay, George says, you don't need to die, but you need to, listen. You can keep your weapons. You just need to let me in there. You can't use that jump drive. If you use it, the oxygen will be off anyways, and you'll just die. So why would you want to kill yourself? I don't understand.
Okay. Well, let's flip
Not
back
in like
to
a silly robot android way, but in like a legitimate, like, why would you just kill yourself?
yeah. Let's flip back to those who are on the Alexis. Are y'all running back now to your ship?
Yeah, that's what Leon certainly was doing after after failing that fear check.
Okay.
And Vince will definitely try to keep up as well.
Okay. Let me also. I'll give you another check. And this one's going to be at disadvantage, so you're going to be very lucky with this one. But I'll give you a work back to my. This is going to be is the attribute intellect?
Yeah.
Intellect
Mhm.
at disadvantage.
Oh wow. Okay, I made it.
Ooh.
Wild.
We'll have to react quieter. That's my
Vince
favorite.
did not.
Okay. So
Vince did not make it.
So Leon, while you're kind of rushing down the hallway, you do have
Yes.
those two airlocks into the cargo bay that are
Yeah.
open. Um, you do like as you're running by, glance in there and see something that is um odd looking. And it's pretty large. Um, um,
Mm.
you would have to pause to kind of fully see what it is, but whatever it is, there's this large piece. I mean, large block of some type of odd, twisted metal. Um, that is in there. By large, um, it's about like 5 feet high, probably about 3 feet wide. It's like sitting in the middle of the floor there. And you also could, as you're running by, pick up that there seem to be some bodies that are in there.
So I'm going to take this sort of success here to partly indicate that um, I'll grab Slavin and say like, wait a second, that's we should check this out. There might be more. This might give us a better sense about what's going on. I don't want to spend too much time in here, but there's this. I don't know. I know I'm not gonna be able to make heads or tails of it. Come on. So I'll grab Slavin and kind of pull him in with me to try to take a closer look at it.
Okay. I think Slavin would be at least willing to go to the doorway and take a glance in.
Yeah. We'll call Vince back.
What are we doing now? We're coming, we're going back. Come on. Alien trilobites, and next thing you know, I don't know what's going on here. What is this? What is this thing? So Vince will just go on like that for a little while.
So I'll move close. I'll kind of enter in and move closer to it and kind of look at the, but kind of cautiously looking at kind of the bodies near it to see like if it looks like they've been taken out in similar fashion as the other ones, like, having fought, does it look like they've been.
All right. Yeah. So, when you get there, a lot of the room kind of looks like what you would expect. It has like earth movers and things like that, like little crane and, tools like picks and shovels. Uh, the twisted metal thing, um, when you kind of give it a little bit of a look, it looks like this really grotesque statue. Um, with like a bunch of limbs that are kind of disjointed and twisted together. Um, you can make out like what seem to be like various screaming faces that are there.
It's not good.
There are around on the floor are kind of this shattered um, parts of a crate. I mean, kind of clearly it had been kind of crated up, but now it's almost like it's the crate was somehow right, shattered and busted open. Um, and the dead bodies are odd because they are all right around the um, this statue, and some of them their hands are touching the statue, some of them their foreheads are on the statue.
Okay.
And I think this one is going to be a sanity
Yeah.
save.
Sure. Yes. Okay.
Am I close enough that I have to, or am I?
Yeah, I think you need to make one as well.
Okay. I succeed there. 21 out of 29.
No. Vince does not make that.
Okay. You'll take a stress for that. One other thing, one other notable thing is you can see on the floor close by this big kind of scorched mark. I mean, it's just kind of it's kind of has a sinuous type shape, but it would obviously have to be considerable heat that would have been capable of scorching the metal here.
And I assume Leon has not gotten any of my messages yet.
No.
Oh my god, that's kind of scary.
So I'll having kept my wits about me this time, I will use my I'll record with my body cam. I'll kind of make a point to do a recording of this and try to circle around it a little bit to get different angles, but I'm staying far away. I'm noting that the dead people are all touching it. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to touch it.
Mm-hmm.
How many dead bodies?
6 of them.
6. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have 10, and you said there was 18. We thought 18 crew members because of the 18.
It was. Let me see how many. Well, there were 30 cryopods.
Oh, 30 cryopods. Okay.
So I don't know how many crew members how many have you counted up so far?
10.
10.
Yeah. With these guys. So I think so we're about a third of the way through finding these guys. What can I make out of the faces on the sculpture? What do they look like?
Just really kind of grotesque, twisted, kind of warped.
Okay.
I would also say that there is dirt in this room. Like if you that equipment looks like it has been used.
Yeah.
The statue has some dirt on it, right? I mean, there has been some excavation work that has been done. That's very clear.
Yeah.
Is the dirt similar to what I found on the bodies?
I mean, at a cursory glance, it could be. Yeah.
So I'll So I'm going to say, I don't know what they were doing, but they must have been down to one of these. They must have dug this up. I don't want to. I don't want to get much closer to this though, Vince.
I don't want to get any closer to that thing. I don't want to know what it is. I don't want to know what it is. It's weird. I don't know what. It's weird.
But
Vince doesn't like it. But I was talking like Rosk in third person.
So we'll say, so I'll kind of then just say like, okay, I got some good pictures of it. Maybe we can let we can let the captain figure out what to do with it. That sounds good, and we'll head back, or I'll start to head back towards the airlock.
Robbie, how many? There's supposed to be 18 people on the ship, right? I think.
Well, there were 30 cryopods.
Right.
I think what we said it was. Did we say it was 18 members on the Taconite? And I don't know that we had a specific count, but there were 30 cryopods in right that cryopod hold on the Alexis.
So the majority of the crew we haven't even seen yet.
Right. I mean, if it was, if the 30 represents the full contingent, right? You've got about a third of them. Yeah. So are you all heading back to the airlock of the or do you want to do any more investigating at this point?
I think Vince will sort of tug on the android's arm and say, hey, did they go down to the planet down there? Did somebody go to that planet?
Yeah, I mean the androids are the Cranot, right, is the one that seems to be most helpful. Says maybe they look like they may have been down there. I can't recall.
What are you good for? Huh? What are you good for?
And it seems like it's about this point that message would come through finally for from George.
Yes.
And George, you were sending it. Were you sending it just
I think
to
John might have frozen or something, he said in the chat. Oh. Okay, it's weird because now I can kind of see you moving.
Yeah.
John.
John, are you still with us?
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear me? Because
Yes.
I can't see you. I can now sort of see you, but now you guys are all frozen for me.
Oh shit.
Okay.
And it also says I'm muted.
No, you're not muted. We can hear you. We can see you. You're moving just fine.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what's happening.
It's in keeping with the spatial anomalies that we've been experiencing.
So I mean,
And now he's frozen.
Oh no. In a slightly pleased expression. Sometimes the Discord frozen faces just are always strange.
Yeah. I think you should try dropping out and seeing if that fixes it.
Oh, he's trying to reboot. Okay, cool.
Oh.
I like androids. They're fun. Like they're kind of cool. And I'm always like, why would anyone ever build an android? When you see like the androids in I guess they make sense as like a method of a company surveilling, like a piece of surveillance. but not much else to me, you know? Like, I think they would be really good for if you have some kind of long space travel and you really want to make sure that your, $1 trillion spaceship doesn't get damaged or something. But other than that, I'm like, would they really be allowed any kind of like why would anyone let them have a personality? But
Well, yeah, I
I
was
don't
gonna say
know.
that becomes a big question. Is like when you have an android, what is their emotional state, and what is their thought process when it comes to kind of questions of ethics and things
Yeah,
like that? Yeah.
right. And so I'm trying to think about like what I picture George as is like the company Boston Dynamics, they build
Hmm.
these robots. They started out with their dog thing or whatever, saying this will never be given to the military. Now they work with the military, and the military is probably going to use their little robots. And so that's kind of what I picture George as, right? Like at first you're like, oh, we're going to build this cool, person with a personality.
Hmm.
And then they're like, oh, well, we'll stick a video camera in him and like this big microphone so he can scare people. So I don't know. That's what I picture androids being like if they were actually made.
Sorry about that.
Oh, hello.
Back. Okay. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, as I was saying, I forget the last thing I was saying, but if I get George's message, I'm gonna get out of there. I'm gonna give Vince a hard time about wanting to ask any questions or stick around if he does so, and just try to get back.
Yeah, Vince is happy to get out of there. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think George's like message, it would be like along the lines of, like Leon, you come help me. Not like, hey, all you guys come, because George doesn't really consider the other people like, they're not going to come shoot at people or something.
Right,
He
right.
doesn't think. Yeah. So.
We would have to press them into service.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So there's a kind of standoff that's going on right now, right? That the threat of taking the air out of that area versus the pull, turning on the jump drive and seeing what
Yeah.
happens.
George thinks he understands people enough that it's not just a threat. He had the captain turn off the oxygen and didn't tell her about them saying they'll jump. And now he's trying to convince them, now that the oxygen has been turned off, hey, you better come out of there. Because even if what he's saying is, and not in his crazy, screamy, distorted voice anymore, he's just talking, more like a person. He's like, hey, if you stay in there, no matter if you jump, you're all going to die. And, suffocating to get to death is one of the worst ways to die. And you guys are all going to really, really, really regret that choice. Because once you're all choking and dying in there, I'm not going to open the door. I'm not going to be able to, because you're the only ones who are able to. So you guys better come out.
Okay. And
He's trying to sound reasonable,
yeah, and at this point, we have Vince and Leon who are rushing in as well. You would hear this kind of loud shouting coming down the hallway. Um,
Yeah, George is yelling to Leon, like, well, actually, he's still doing the comms to Leon, so he doesn't have to yell. So he can sound kind of reasonable now to these people. And he's like, Leon, you got to get over here because we've got a real dangerous situation here and we might need to shoot some people.
So yeah, I'll head in. I'll hear the end of that, and I'll turn. So first, I'll turn to George and say, it's real bad news over in the other ship. Their jump drive is even worse than this. Than it seems like ours was. Slavin doesn't even know what happened to it. He and Vince are pretty sure that any attempt to use the jump drive is gonna be a disaster.
Okay, yeah, and when you say that, George is like, okay, you really need. There are some people behind this door. Maybe a human voice can convince them to not. They're about to use the jump drive, and he's like, have they said anything back to?
Okay, so one thing is, the captain. She's been able to hear a little bit what's going on down there. I mean, she's not kind
Okay.
of completely in the dark. There are intercoms and
Mhm.
right microphones and things, right?
Right.
Um, the captain has restored some oxygen and
Okay.
is telling her first officer, let's pause and consider what's happening right now. Right? She's
Okay.
trying to kind of calm down the situation. She does through a private channel say that you know well she says if he flips the jump drive, I think it would be disastrous. Um, and she also says, you know, we we could make the surprise move and go to the Alexis.
Oh
And
my God.
right, I mean, so
That's.
she's kind of wondering about like, would it be, um, what is the status of the Alexis? Is that an option?
Mm.
So is she? Am I? Wait, was I in that com?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All of you
I'll
are in on
say Slavin says that their jump drive is in worse shape than ours. They do have fuel though for the for their conventional drive. Um, and Captain, there's I don't know what happened over there, but it doesn't. None of it really makes much sense. It looks like they were it looks like they were down on the planet, digging and brought something back that I've never seen anything like it. And Captain, everyone is dead over there, and it looked like at least some of them turned on each other.
um, she says, okay, but I don't think Arvin, my first officer, is going to be reasonable.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. George is saying through the door, like, Arvin, what is the deal? If you use that jump drive, it's probably going to kill us. George says the jump drive over on that other ship is in much better condition than ours. You should come out. We can, like, we can bring you over to that jump drive. You don't want to use this one. It's gonna, like, the reason everyone is kind of telling you to not use this jump drive is because it's gonna probably kill us all.
Hmm.
And when we were over, the other ship is called, what was it again?
The Alexis.
When we were over on the Alexis, the crew was just having a hard time starting up their jump drive, but their jump drive is actually working just fine. It just needed a little bit of help from our engineer. If you would just come out of there, you could go over to the Alexis and you could jump away with them while we repair ours with, some of the knowledge that we got from them about what was glitched with theirs.
Yes, he said, and now I'm wondering because like it's I don't think the system really has anything for like judging NPC reactions
Right.
or how convinced they are.
Well, yeah, yeah, because my skills, like, linguistics isn't really.
Mhm.
That's the only skill that could, like, that's not relevant
and,
though,
and,
because it's
and
just.
you're an android talking to this
I
guy.
know.
It's like,
And so I'm like, Leon, help! Like, I'm like, Leon, can you? And fucking George's face is all weird right now, so he doesn't even really turn to look at Leon. He's like, Leon, can you please reason with this person? I don't want us to lose this ship.
Yeah, I'll say, Arvin, this is not the way to go. You're putting everyone at risk. We have another option like George is saying in the other ship.
Um,
And then George is like, if you're gonna jump, do it now and save us all the tension, or else come out.
yeah, and there's silence now, and you hear some discussion. Arvin's voice is getting, during that discussion after the silence, Arvin's voice just kind of gets louder,
Mhm.
and he clearly, I mean, it's louder. It's clearly a voice under anxiety and stress. He's saying things like, "We've got to do it now. If we don't, we're just going to be like these other dead ships."
Can I rig up one of my grenades to like blow open the door?
Oh,
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
all
So
right, George will stand back.
I'll be doing that, and I was probably I'll be doing that, and I'll kind of George will see me, I think, doing what I'm doing. He'll kind of get what the plan is, right?
Yeah, does one of our comms have like a speakerphone mode? If that makes sense, like could it sound like a voice? Like if I put my comm at the door, could I make it sound like one of us is still there and be like, "Hey, come talk to me"? So he doesn't do the jump drive, and then the
Yeah,
grenade will
yeah,
blow up.
possibly. Although I imagine that these comms sound a little metallic, and right, and
Right.
they don't totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so I don't think George would think of that then. He would just back up.
All right. So as you're trying to rig up that grenade, Arvind, his his uh his companions are also sounding worried, that they're saying, "Come on, we maybe can still negotiate with the captain." You know, he's saying, "Screw the captain, right? The captain doesn't care. She's just gonna leave us to be space junk out here. Um, Come on, we've almost got this set up. I think we've got to try it now, or we're done for."
Jesus.
So uh, let's do this. We'll throw the grenade and see what happens with that.
Sounds good.
So what is your odds of success here?
Low.
Would it be better
So-
if George did it? Like he actually, like,
Well-
not even in a metagamey way, but like in a like.
Well, I have explosives, but
Oh, right, you have explosive. Never
so
mind. Never mind.
I guess it depends on if is this count as combat, or what do I add my explosives to, or intellect? It's not too much of a difference, but
Mm,
Yeah, I think it would be to intellect.
okay. So I
Makes
have
sense.
a 39% chance of this going our way.
Well, that's not too bad.
This is a
Let's
big
do it.
deal.
Let's do it.
If this were RuneQuest, I'd take those odds.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 69, so it didn't go our way, but
But it explodes,
yeah,
right? And I
it's
think
not a critical failure.
okay. What this will be? I don't know. The dead planet gives me a elaborate chart to roll on if somebody tries to activate a malfunctioning jump drive.
Okay.
I think maybe I should roll on that chart, and we'll see.
Absolutely.
Some of it's disastrous, some of it's just wacky. I mean, there's all sorts of things, but this seems like, Arvind is at the state where he's like totally stressed out and is not thinking straight, and is also
Explosion.
reacting to, yeah. So
This door is a big problem. Doors are the biggest. Doors are the only true mark of an OSR game. Doors is an issue. That's the only real concept.
I do have the laser cutter if the grenade didn't work.
That's true.
They would have heard that coming.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'm going to describe what happens, but then I may need your assistance to figure out like how this actually shakes out in terms of playing the game at this point.
Good.
All right, so you hear the jump drive activating, and it does not sound like a normal jump drive. I mean, there's this vibration that develops into this really odd harmonics. You feel the ship shaking. It starts off with one note, and then it seems like it subtly changes into like two notes that are kind of harmonizing, and then it seems like, oh, now it's like four notes, but the harmonics are kind of subtly shifting, and you kind of look at each other, and it's almost like you visually are kind of doing like what the harmonics are doing, where you look at one of your companions, and it seems like they are now kind of dividing and coming apart, so that there are like two of them, and then four of them, and finally the jump drive shuts down. And when that happens, it was at a point where each of you had kind of doubled. And so there are now duplicates that are sitting there.
Oh, shit.
Now here's what the chart says. A duplicate of every crew member appears. And this is what, the next part is what I don't, The warden rolls secretly to determine whether each player is the original or duplicate. Like, what does that mean? Like,
Wait, you could be playing the duplicate of actually you're playing the duplicate of yourself and you're not the original.
Yeah.
Suddenly.
Yes.
That's kind of cool. I really like that. So you would roll, like if you rolled and I was the duplicate, the old me is now your character and I'm like the duplicate. But I don't really know what that has, like, impact that really has on me as like a player if it's secret.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm not sure of.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is the kind of it's similar to like the doppelganger question of like, if the duplicates aren't evil, then it may not matter. But unless there's some other thing kind of added that like like the new the duplicates are like from unstable in some way, or I don't know. But I don't know what it means. But or if it's just sort of like, I agree. I don't know that it's a meaningful distinction from our point of view, Sam. I kind of agree. But
unless you would split up, and some of you, I would say, okay,
yeah.
Unless there's two things I'm thinking of. This might be, if later on somebody does something and all duplicates disappear.
Right.
And also the potential for playing two different characters in two different spots. Same character, but they're in different locations.
Yeah, I do think at this point maybe a sanity save would be in order.
Yeah, I think I'm losing my stuff here.
And you guys are only fear saves made in my presence have disadvantage. So actually, when you guys rolled that sanity save earlier, it should not have been a disadvantage because.
Well, it was a fear save earlier.
Oh, it was a fear save. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, those are fear saves.
Oh, I thought I got to well actually, but I didn't. Okay, I failed my fear save by. My sanity save by a lot because I got a 97.
I also fail my sanity save.
I also feel my sanity.
Okay, roll a d4.
Oh, I don't own a D4.
Or you could roll a d8 and divide it by 2.
I
Plus
don't own
3.
a D8.
My stress is up to 10. I own
Oh,
many D4s, but I couldn't find one, so I am rolling a D8 today.
I only got. I rolled a 1 again. I think I've rolled 1 a few times in a row on this.
Okay, and I would say that at this point also the the oxygen has been cut off to the engine room,
Okay.
so you do not hear any sound coming from there.
Okay. So George is looking and himself is there again, and there's another Leon.
Yes.
This is so funny. Okay. He shoots the other version of himself with a foam gun.
Nice.
He shoots the other version of himself with the pulse rifle.
Okay.
That shouldn't exist. That's
All
not.
right, let me ask what the others are going to do. Are you going to just at this point just going to wait and see how things shake out, or?
I'm a little. I think I'm a little stunned. So I'm a little stunned. I'm going to say this is. I'm going to say we told you not to turn on the jump drive.
George is saying kill the anomalies.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's go on and see how the shot goes off.
Yeah.
I think this. I want to say that if you're doing this, I think it's going to be an action, and I think it's going to be at advantage. I don't think the other one is just. I don't know. Like, would your other self like expect suddenly to
Alyssa's
get?
other self feels the exact same way.
I think my other self would feel the exact same way. Well, it depends if he just materialized. Basically, if I think that my other self would probably also try to shoot me.
I don't know though,
you're
because
playing my
I
other
see
self.
it as being such I didn't expect it at all. I think it was like just a kind of quick spur of the moment thing. I don't think that they would. I'm going to say that
Cool.
this will take them by surprise. And you're right. You're right there. And if you're deciding to do it, I think it would be a shot at advantage.
Right, so I'll roll my 2 things. Okay, so I have a 26 and a 91. So I'm going to take the 26.
Right.
So that hits, and I'm using my pulse rifle because that thing is not me. It's a weird.
Do you also want to roll for your double?
Yeah. Let me. Well, okay, right, because it can get an armor save, right? So
Correct.
it has. If it's also stimmed, it has a actually pretty good chance. It has a 35% chance. So let's see, and it gets an 86. So I hit it.
Yes.
And now I do 5d10 damage.
And it failed its armor save, right?
It did, yeah. I roll a 5d10 for my pulse rifle. So let's see. Oh, and it's +5 combat with wearing HUD, and I do have a HUD. Oh, and it holds 6 frag grenades in the pump action grenade launcher. Okay, cool. All right, let me just get 5 dice on the internet. I only have 10. Oh, I hope I kill myself here. I don't like that thing. All right, I do 35 damage. My total health, though, is 68.
All right, so all right, let me go. So you're down You have total 68. You just took 35. So you're down
So
to 33.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
think he has to panic because he got more than half damage.
correct. So a
I
pan.
have 4 stress right now. Well, including the 1 stress I just gained from seeing my double. So that one would have started with 3 stress. The other one.
So you have 3 stress.
Yeah.
Now do
Unless
you,
it failed a sanity check. I don't know if it would have failed the sanity check earlier that it probably had.
because well, I mean it would have the same sanity that you. I mean right. It would have done the same that you would have, right?
So I had 3 before, and then I gained 1 from seeing it.
Uh
Do we
huh.
want it to also roll
Oh
sanity
yeah,
from
yeah.
seeing?
So
Yeah, yeah.
it would roll. I'll go on and do this. So
I
what
have
is
20
it?
sanity.
Okay,
Is
so
my
it
sanity.
failed,
Okay.
and now it's going to roll 2d10. It succeeded in its panic check. Right, it makes a stress check with 2d10, right? Um, right. So it actually relieves the stress, right? From that.
Oh,
Yeah.
getting shot a bunch.
Um,
Nice.
and then yeah, so I think at this point, so it's a duplicate of you, and I guess it has the same weaponry that
Yeah. Yeah, it has a pulse rifle and a foam gun.
yeah.
It also has 5 more stim packs on it that it could use. And
Okay.
yeah.
All right. We need to get into so with the combat here.
Oh my god, this is funny. I just wonder what fucking Leon's gonna do. Like, and
Uh,
and Vince, right? That I'm really bad at names. Like,
yeah.
All right. So
um,
so let me ask people because we are at
Yeah.
11 o'clock right now. Do we want to pick up with? I mean, we could pick up here next week, or do we want to carry out the combat at this point?
I can play more, but I also understand that other people might not be able to.
I mean, I'm okay with playing out the combat.
Let me try that again. Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I mean, and I think Leon is well, I mean, like as this is going on, Leon is kind of stunned that this is breaking out, and so he's gonna be not reacting that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think I also did fail my save, yeah, because I did fail that that save.
Yeah, because I think what I'd like to do is just kind of say, okay, this is now like you know, George gets that free action, right?
Right.
And now we're in a round of combat, and so everybody will make a speed check. The the odd thing is like, what do I do with the duplicates? I'm feeling like the duplicates maybe will follow along with what their counterpart does, except for George's duplicate.
Yeah, I guess I feel like I just well, it is interesting. I guess
Or should I play the duplicates of everybody?
I think you should just play the duplicates.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll play the duplicates. You'll play yourselves. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. So
I'll just point out that Vince's favorite person is Vince. So, yeah.
So, did you make that secret roll? Like, so I could be a duplicate right now.
yeah. In some ways, it like John said, it's kind of irrelevant as to which is the duplicate, right?
Because 3 of us are gonna make it out of here.
Yeah.
And yeah. I really don't want there to be a scene that's like, which one is the real Leon? You know, where I'm like, but we'll see. Could happen.
Good.
Maybe I'll foam
Good.
gun the others. We'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen here.
Well,
Yeah.
and I am considering now though that George's duplicate is the enemy.
Yeah.
Okay, for the purposes of this. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So with Leon, what is your speed?
25.
And Vince, what is your speed?
I am 48.
And George, what is your speed?
I'm only 30.
Okay, because I'm going to roll like for those three, and then you can roll your speed checks as well.
Okay.
I got a 19. I don't really. Oh, probably shouldn't just announce it, but yeah.
And
Failed.
Oh, so we're trying to succeed at this. I really don't remember any of the combat rules.
yeah, so you and the crewmates make a speed check. Those who pass can act before the enemies. Those who fail act after. So that's
Okay.
the only thing is so who gets to act before the duplicate George?
I got a 19.
I also got a 19.
Okay, so tell me what you all want to do.
I'm gonna finish off George.
Okay, and you can take 2 significant actions during your turn.
Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna finish off George and then turn and just spray one of the Leons with my foam gun.
Okay. Okay, so go on and take your shot at George.
All right. I don't still have advantage, right?
Correct. You do not have advantage.
Okay. I got a 47, so I hit again.
And I'll do the armor.
Yeah, he has 35 right now.
He failed that.
Okay. Oh, I see now about the combat being kind of deadly. All right, 27 more damage to him.
Okay, so he only has 6 left. Does this necessitate another panic check?
I don't think so. Oh my god, wait. What's happening? Okay, this is like random, but someone who I blocked on all social media and messaging and like texting just sent me a message on Steam. It's like, okay, like go away. Anyways.
Okay, here's panic. Let me make sure. So with panic,
How do I mute?
Losing. He did not lose more than half the max health, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, so he doesn't panic.
So he does not, but he only has 6 left. What do you want to do for your other significant action?
So can I change it now that I've
Yeah,
announced?
I don't think you have to. I mean, it just says you take 2 significant actions.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think. Is there any way for George to remember which of the Leons was the original?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, he's not going to think about it that much then. This is so, yeah. I guess he's going to finish off the other George. I think he's got to just.
Okay.
Because can he shoot twice in the same round?
I think so. It says you can take 2 significant actions. Examples of significant actions are. It doesn't say anything. I mean, I'm assuming you can take the same action twice.
All right, cool. All right, so I'll try to shoot him again. And this will be my 3rd shot with the pulse rifle, so I have to reload after this. Okay, I got a 12, so I've hit him again.
And let me see his armor. He
Yeah,
got a
35.
3. He got a 3 on his armor, so he.
So he saves?
Yes.
Oh, wow, okay.
So,
And what's his like body like? Like, I've shot him a lot. Probably a bunch of chunks of his chunks of him are falling off or something. Is he saying anything, or is he just kind of getting? I mean, I don't know if I'd be saying much if I was getting filled with pulse rifle bullets.
So let me just make sure I understand how this all works. So, location.
Robbie, could there have been 4 duplicates of us if you had rolled like higher?
No. It was only one.
That's
That's
thank
enough.
God. Yeah. George would have to kill so many other fucking Georges. It'd be horrible.
Right. Okay. So include attacker makes a combat check. I'm trying to see. Okay. So what is the effect of? So you succeeded and I succeeded. I know I was reading this before.
I should have pump action grenaded him. Yeah, let me.
Remove.
Or maybe that would not be good.
I'm trying to find what it says about this.
If both succeed, they re-roll. That's opposed checks on page.
Oh.
On which page?
Page 4, I think.
But this isn't an opposed check though, because I don't think, right? Because it's a save after the fact.
Yeah.
I think armor actually just does make you just. Yeah, I think that you don't, cause I think he just doesn't take damage, because if you fail your save, you gain 1 more stress. Additionally, you may suffer some other consequences like taking damage in the case of a failed armor save. So I think he didn't fail, so he doesn't take damage.
Is that on the combat page?
It's on page 7, saves.
Yeah. What I'm looking at is on page 4 with the critical hits.
You would think on the combat it would do this. It says.
It does explicitly say under combat, attacking is a specific kind of significant action performed by rolling an opposed check. And it's in combat check against the defender's armor save. If the attack succeeds, they roll their weapon. Yeah, so if that's the case, and in a tie, you would roll again.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay.
So they roll again.
All right. I'll roll again. I've failed my combat, so.
So it doesn't really matter then, right?
So I just
Okay. So and now it's the other one who gets to act is Vince. What is Vince gonna do?
Man, what is Vince going to do? Vince is going to. Let me give rules for it. So, I think Vince is going to try and disable George, but shooting George, not destroy him, but disable him by trying to take his arm off with the laser cutter.
George or other George?
George. The George who just acted. So.
Who is more healthy than the other George?
Right. God. Okay.
So basically, he's just trying to disable the one arm that's holding the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll say, "George, put it down. Put it down."
Okay.
So 37 out of 50. Yeah. So he does make.
Let me see if I get my armor save. I got a 19.
Okay.
So I've made my armor save.
So I guess we roll again then.
Okay. Okay, I've gotten
I got a 17 on mine.
Okay, what is this 100 or is this? Oh wait, sorry. The 0, 0, is that 0 out of 100? I think I got a. 0.
I think you got a 0. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I got
A double 0 is always a critical hit.
it's a critical.
Okay, so criticals beat normal successes.
Right.
Okay,
So
nice.
you're okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was
So
one
your
action.
bullets, these big revolver bullets are like pinging off of my
That you
armor.
get 2 significant actions, right?
So Vince will tell other Vince, take cover, you fool, take cover. And he actually looks at Leon and everybody else like, George is out of control. So he will sort of duck into behind the nearest bulkhead if he can.
Mhm.
That will be I think that will be Vince's other significant action.
Okay.
Huh.
All right. And then the enemy gets to go, right? And I think George is going to just shoot back at George.
Yeah. All right. Okay, this time I didn't succeed at my armor save, so.
And he rolled a 24.
Jesus Christ. Oh. But he's using the foam gun, right? No, I'm just kidding.
So how much damage does he do?
D10.
5d10?
Yes. Unless it's a crit, in which case he does 10d10.
No, he doesn't. He did 26.
Okay, that's not half of my health. Okay, so
And I guess
60...
the other action is going to be to shoot again, right?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Oh.
I would if I was him. So I have 40. So I have 68, and then minus 26 is 42, right? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Fuck off, other George.
And he rolled a 36 on this one.
Oh, right, and I need to roll my
armor.
Yeah, I fail again, my armor.
Ooh.
Oh, Jesus.
So another D10? A
Yeah,
5d10?
5d10. Oh, he could kill me if he gets all 10s. Kind of unlikely.
No, he got 33.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And George is screaming like, help me, it's killing me.
Now,
Christ, he has 9 health left. Oh my God.
Leon, you get...
So I'm stunned. I'm confused. Now Leon's in this situation of who's the real George.
Mhm.
So, but I think I want to take cover. I want to, I'm going to move to take cover. And ready my, get out of the way of either one of these guys shooting at me.
Okay.
Where is the cover? Like, where is the thing
Yeah,
that Vincent
good point.
hiding behind, by the way? Not necessarily on the map, but just like to get an idea of like what this looks like.
Yeah, I lost my. Let's see, I lost my map.
Because there's got to be a whole lot of stuff to hide behind. I feel like on a ship.
Yeah. Oh, this map isn't as detailed.
Yeah. We are where
we're
Well,
like
you're kind of in that
long corridor.
Yeah, the long corridor. So you could jump down into the cryo chamber, which is room Y. There's
I'll be moving towards the. Yeah, I'll be moving towards the cryo chamber.
Or right across the hallway is the life support chamber. I think that seems to be the most convenient place to duck behind.
Yeah.
That's where I think Vince number 1 would have gone.
Yeah, and I think your duplicates are kind of with this are just kind of mirroring you. I mean that they're not interested in the pulse rifle hitting them, right?
Yeah.
So I think at this point we go to another speed check round.
Okay. Oh, please, God. Oh, Jesus, I got an 80. Oh, my God. Oh, this fucking George is gonna kill me.
I fail my speed check.
Oh, I just need some stim pack.
I got it 04 on mine.
So you succeed. So Vince gets to act first.
Oh, okay. So,
So Sam, how much do you have left? How much?
9.
You have 9, and your duplicate has 6.
Yeah, all I want is a stim pack. I just need a stim pack. Oh,
let's see what. You know what? Vince will put down the laser cutter because that seems a bit like he doesn't want to destroy George. He just wants to disable George. So I'll put that down. He'll take a crowbar and he'll go up to George, number 1, and he'll try to bash that arm.
Okay.
all right.
32 out of 50. No, I'm sorry, 32 out of 40, I think.
All right, I got a 25.
41, okay.
So I've succeeded at the armor.
So do we go again?
I suppose.
Yeah, you can go again.
I got a 50, so I failed.
I got an 11.
Okay.
Oh, a critical success. Yes.
Could I just use the critter just to disable that arm?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, with a critical
Okay.
success, I would say that whatever your kind of intention was, and you're not looking to cause super damage, but I would say that you deliver a kind of disabling blow to that arm.
Okay. Now calm down, George, calm down.
Okay, so George's arm has been. I mean, disabled would mean smashed open and broken.
Well, yeah.
That
I
would
would
do
say
damage.
it's been incapacitated for this
Okay.
combat, right?
All right.
And I think
Well, I, I mean, a crowbar doesn't do mechanical nice things. It, if you smash an arm with it and it's disabled, his arm's probably split in half or something, right? And
yeah, I think it has some wiring that's been disconnected in it
yeah,
and stuff. Yeah, it is non-functioning right now.
okay.
And I think that I don't know how to handle the duplicate. I mean, because I imagine what the duplicate would do would be something similar with the other George, right?
If I was the
While
duplicate, I would be shooting the other George full of holes.
do what?
I would be shooting the other George right full of holes if I was the duplicate, and I had the chance. But, if you feel like you're worried about killing my George, go right ahead. My George.
The thing is, he doesn't know which George is George, right? I mean,
Oh, the other George?
You could be the other George.
I could be the other George. If I was the other George, though, I would think that I was the original George, because everyone would think that. To preserve your sanity. I mean, George just thinks this thing is like a shadow creature or some kind of demon thing or something like that. So he's not even thinking about it being him at all. He's thinking it's like not a person.
mm-hmm.
Like if I saw myself reflected in real life, I would not think that was me,
Correct.
my consciousness copied. I would think, what the fuck? That's like a bad HP Lovecraft story or something or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, because the mirror Leon doesn't know which George is the real George, so
yeah.
I think he's just gonna try to get the other George to drop weapons and cease the attack. I don't know if we want to roll combat for that or
I would say that if, like, just to play the other George as me being George, if he wants to get the other George to stop killing my George, he has to shoot the other George until the other George dies. Because I think that the other George is probably pretty hell-bent on right now killing this other George, my George. I really wish that grenade had blown up the doors.
Yeah. So Leon, what do you have for weapons?
I have a submachine gun.
No, I'm sorry, Vince. What do you have for weapons?
So he has the laser cutter, which does percentile damage. So like if you roll a 42 or a 38, which would hit, that's how much damage it does, I think.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
And if you, he also has that revolver because that would have been duplicated as well. And he also has a hand welder, which I don't know if that's unusual.
We'll have him just go at it with the revolver, I think. And so.
Oh, to try to disable the other George?
Yes.
Ah.
And he rolled a 0-1.
Oh boy.
Which is pretty good.
Ooh. Yeah.
Except that no, but it's not the laser one, right? So this is actually going to be pretty. And does, Sam, do you want to roll the armor for the other George?
Yeah, sure. He got an 85, which is feeling nice.
Right. And so the revolver does the 3d10.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's got to die.
He takes he takes 8, but he only had 6.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
so
down.
he gets shot and dies. Okay.
Yes.
Whoa.
So,
and George yells, "Thank you, Vince," when he sees the other one fall.
and I guess both Vinces say, well, the duplicate Vince says, "Well, you're welcome."
What are you talking about? What do you mean you're welcome? What is that? What is that? It's craziness. I don't even know who you are.
Should George roll a fear check or sanity or something because he just saw himself get fucking killed?
Yeah, I think a fear 1 might be in order.
All right. Luckily, he has a high fear. So
I mean, seeing yourself
right.
get killed.
He succeeds, so he's pretty content with his kind of this thing isn't him.
Yeah.
Feeling.
Or was it?
Yeah, luckily he's getting none of the or was it at all, which feels good. I don't want my character to have any or was it type feelings.
Yeah, so we're now left with one George dead on the floor, another George nearly dead with an incapacitated arm.
Yeah.
And we have 2 Vinces and 2 Leons standing by. And I suppose we have 2 captains now walking down the corridor to kind of see what the impact of all of this is. Yeah, and I guess next week we'll just have to pick up and see exactly where this goes. I think just and we can do another advancement at the beginning of the next session. But in terms of what you would have, 35, I think, is where we got the experience.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have to think of like how we deal with our duplicate situation.
Oh man.
So you get 10 experience points for surviving. Do you saving another crew member's life gives you 3 XP. Does anybody want to claim that they saved
I think I
George's
saved.
life?
I guess alternate Vince did. Vince
Yeah,
number
so
2 did.
yeah,
I'm
maybe
faster
Vince
to get more
did.
XP than I am.
Yeah. I don't think I saved anyone's life at all.
Um, I should have before that. I think everybody should, it says investigate a. These are just the examples it provides. Investigate a distress signal 3 XP. I think from the previous one, I think everybody can add 3 XP because you all, and especially because you were all the away crew to kind of investigate that. Um,
Yeah, maybe Leon and Vince could get a little more than George because they found the actual weird creamy statue thing or whatever.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that the two of you should get two. I mean, it says retrieve an ancient alien artifact, but I think that so you saw it, right? You kind of investigated it, so you get 2 for that. Um, and I think everybody gets 2 XP for unlocking a great mystery, which is one of the examples it gives you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, at least the whole jump drive kind of wacky thing that kind of goes on. Um, but yeah, for next session we can. I don't think that'll level up anybody because for the next one, right, you need to be at. Does anybody level up?
25.
You have to be at 20,
Yeah.
25 for the yeah. Um, but then we'll need to kind of shake out like how we want to do with the duplicates.
Doubles.
I like doing it for the one scene, but I don't think that running a whole adventure with like
Yeah.
duplicates running around will be. Um,
We got to put them on the other ship.
yeah, maybe
They get to take the
That's
other
good.
ship.
yeah.
So, I don't know if there are any Farscape fans here among us, other than me. Okay, no. Okay, so there's season 3 of Farscape. The main character Crichton gets duplicated, and so the way they worked it was half the crew and one Crichton go into one ship, and half the crew and the other Crichton stay on Moya. And so that they basically told 2 different storylines. Like,
Oh, that's kind of cool, actually.
yeah. So if you have not watched Farscape, I highly recommend.
Yeah. Well, and I think in this situation that might be, it's like, well, now we have. I mean, the Alexis, yeah, there are problems there, but they do have workable thrusters. So,
Hmm.
you do have two ships. So if you wanted to do that, and then whoever goes off to the Alexis would have to figure out how to deal with other issues that are going on over there and what's going on with that artifact. But I think that would be a reasonable thing to do. And then if you did that, then you know you could just collectively decide which ship we wanted to do the next adventure
Yeah.
on. But I suppose if we wanted to shift at some point to the other one, we we could. Except
That
unfortunately
except
George wouldn't
George.
be there. George would be missing.